Point is very simple. We are going to deal with various types of questions and a general preparation strategy if you are left with only 3 months. Perfect, right? Now, I have planned to basically divide this entire session into 2 parts. One, not one after the other. Basically, I'm going to talk in a mixed format, but one thing I'm going to talk about is from the perspective of the people who have been preparing for quite some time, and maybe they could be repeaters, they could be freshers, but they excuse me, but they were having good score in their mocks and so on. But they want to go from one percentile to another. Let's say they are currently getting 85 percentile or 90 percentile, and now they want to get to 95 percentile or 99 percentile. So one part will be around this kind of a preparation strategy. The other part will be on that kind of a strategy for people who have just started their preparation. Now again, this can be of 2 types. One, that you enrolled earlier but you did not start it, or you just enrolled, right? So either way, we are left with only 90 days, we can call it 90, 100 days and so on. And these are the 2 aspects that we are going to deal with. Okay, if you are an absolute fresher, you don't know anything about CAT preparation, you are starting for the first time, you want to get a good score and so on. And the people who have tried this thing already, they are already a bit ahead in their preparation, and now they want to understand what exactly is to be done in 100 days. Perfect, right? All right. So which one should I talk about first? बताओ. Which one should I talk about first? What is the daily study plan Lucifer has asked? What should we do each day to cover all 3 sections? Acha. So see, I was having this discussion with a couple of my peers, colleagues, and then we thought that okay, we have to be very practical when we are taking this live session, right? So be ready to listen to the most crude answers in the sense that the true answers might not really be sugar coated as such. So one thing is that when we are left with 100 days, normally when we start say our earliest batch for a year, definitely there are 2-year batches also. When we start an earlier batch, we say that okay, it's a 12 months batch or a 10 months batch or at least a 6 months batch and so on. But we have surpassed all these things. So imagine there is a student who started 1 year ago, or a student who started 6 months ago, and if that person has been consistent in his or her preparation, then a person who has only 3 months left and starting afresh also have time. Say I have only 2 hours or so, I still want to get 99 percentile. There is a good likelihood that you might not be able to do that, especially if you don't know anything about CAT, if you have not done it, right? So let's be very frank on that. Second thing is, what is going to be the daily study plan? Okay, now daily study plan, let's take it subject by subject. Let's start with quants. Quant is some sort of an Achilles heel. Okay, even the people who are good at quants, they sometimes feel that I'm not able to do the questions as such. And it is not because quants is difficult. Of course, if I talk about CAT 2023, quant was quite difficult, but in general, quant is not difficult, but quant is very much related to your concepts. So if I talk about LRDI and RC, the more practice you do, the better you become. If you do more practice of LRDI sets, there is a good chance you will reach 99 percentile, 95 percentile, depending upon how many sets you attempt correctly. Generally, one set would take you beyond 85 percentile, which is the general cutoff for various top B schools, and 2 correct sets would take you to 99 percentile or slightly less or around it, right, depending upon the difficulty level. So the more you do, the better you become. Similarly, RC, in case of VARC, 6% of the portion of your paper is RC only. If you are practicing RC daily, and again you are able to solve a couple of RCs successfully, and again the skills that are used in RC are the same skills that are used in many of the, not many, in fact all of the VA questions, especially summary or para completion. So in that case, if you deal with RC properly, then that is also something which is sorted. But in case of quants, that is not the case. For quants, you have to have a very strong concept. For instance, if you know that there is a question of profit loss and you are not able to understand what's supposed to be done, then no amount of formula cramming is going to help you. It is important to understand what is supposed to be done here, and within quants also there are so many topics. So when I talk about quants, I say that there are around 5 to 7 iterations that you have to do of each topic. If you are already preparing for quants, I would say that make it a habit of maybe doing 5 to 10 or 15 questions of each topic every 15 to 20 days. This will ensure that your mind is well oiled. Again, the second aspect about quant preparation is that now this is the time for you to prioritize things. There is a good chance that you might not be able to do all the topics, right? And there should not be any shame in that, right? But then what topics should you select? Again, at this stage also, I will not say that you should select any topic, but I would say that you should prioritize it. For me, the priority is very simple. Your first topic should be arithmetic. Your second topic should be algebra. And the reason is also very simple behind that. Arithmetic contains so many topics, which makes it quite popular with the examiners. So many questions are going to come from arithmetic. After that, we have algebra. Again, it is the similar kind of thing. So there are many topics there also. You can decide what all topics you want to cover, but these are the two sets that you must master, and then you should go for the next one. Generally, I put number system and our modern math, which is probability and so on the last pedestal. I'm not saying that you should not do it. Okay. Sometimes DILR also use a lot of concepts of PNC if a certain set comes that way. But either way, we cannot just base our preparation on only one type of idea. So better thing is that you master your arithmetic, you master your algebra, followed by geometry, and then the last two things depending upon where you are standing right now. But the first two things are non-negotiable. Now, a popular question that in fact somebody has already asked, bro, only arithmetic and algebra is enough to do in quants? Think beta, nothing is enough. Okay. But given the time frame that you have, then what you should do to prioritize? If you are an absolute beginner, in that case, what you should do? You have to ensure that you at least attempt all those questions which can take you closer to clearing cutoff. So for example, if your non-quant subject is a better subject, it is okay to score more marks in that, but then you also have to score sectional percentile. So that's where the priority comes into picture. Okay. Again, what happens many times, we think, this is so much, how would I be able to do that? And then we become lost. In fact, we give up. I don't want you to give up. It is absolutely manageable, but just prioritize. In fact, every single thing that I've talked about in my previous videos, either on Instagram or on YouTube or as part of the class, with respect to foundational skills building, we are not supposed to do any of that. And I'll come to that, what you are not supposed to do and what you're supposed to do. But I'm just telling you that this is a 100 days plan. And this will be very specific. Okay. So yeah, then somebody is asking the same thing. I'm coming back to this question. Arithmetic and algebra is enough to do in quants. It is sufficient enough to give you a possibility to cross the cutoff in that section if you attempt most of these questions correctly. Within arithmetic also, you will see that even if there are number of topics, the topics are quite similar in nature. For example, you can combine ratio proportion, mixture and alligation, percentages, profit and loss. They are similar topics. They are basically using the similar kind of concept. If I talk about time, speed, distance, time and work pipe and system, they are also similar kind of topics that can be clubbed, right? So if you understand the topic thoroughly, if you do certain questions about it, there is a good chance you will be able to do the rest of the questions as well. Then in algebra again, people have different idea as to what they are comfortable with. So if I talk about myself, when I was preparing, I was more comfortable with quadratic equations, and basically what I was not comfortable with was inequalities, right? Again, I'm not saying that you should not do it, but I'm saying that within the system also you should prioritize. First you master those things that you are comfortable with, then you do the easy level questions of the other things also. For example, if in case you are left with some time, at least you can give it a shot. Okay. Then comes geometry. In geometry, I've seen that triangles, circles would be those kind of topics where the maximum number of questions would be asked. And again, even if not maximum, then the most tedious questions are asked from these two topics, as compared to say mensuration. Okay, so again you have to prioritize that. Okay, I'm going to do the LOD 3 level type of questions in these topics, but LOD 1 and 2 type of questions in those two topics. So quant is highly concept oriented, highly formula oriented, and you have to do 5 to 7 iterations of it. I'm repeating, every 15 to 20 days you should be able to do 5 to 10 questions of each topic just to keep your mind oiled. Then yes, because we are talking about daily topics and so on, 5 LRDI sets, 5 RCs you have to do every single day. RCs you should be doing with the 5 pause approach that we have discussed in VA 1.3. If you don't know what is 5 pause approach, you can just refer to VA 1.3 lecture. It's quite simple. I have discussed that in a previous live session also, so you can visit that, because it's important to limit our discussion here. Sir, can I do quant but DILR and VARC I can't solve? But if you can do quant, but you can't solve DILR and VARC, basically you are putting all your eggs in the basket of 33%. And I'm saying that to get 99 percentile, one has to get 50% of the marks. So even if you do all the quants correctly, in a very hypothetical stance, you will still not be able to clear it. So we do not have the option. Okay, better is that you do DILR every day, RC solving every day. Let me give you a very simple picture. What is the date today? It's 18th of August. Let's say there are 10 days that are left in August. Then we are having September, October, and then November. 3 months in November. But last week we have to eliminate because exam is on 24th. Maybe 2-3 days before that also we need to eliminate. So let's say 10 days are gone in November also. 20 days of November, 30 days of October. कितना हो गया? 50 days, 30 days of September, 80 days plus 10 more days, 90 days. Every day if you are going to do 5 LRDI sets and 5 RC, 9 4s are 36 if I'm not wrong. So 300 to 350 RCs, 300 to 350 sets you will still be able to do. In either case, even if you feel that you are not confident enough, you will still be able to do better because every single day you are preparing better. Again, what would be the sources of these? Very simple. Again, those of you who are joining from IMS, only the IMS material. Those of you who are not joining from IMS, I'm hoping that you must have gotten some test series or something. Then use the material from that. But just focus on one material, not that there are 10 books that you are referring to. Your SIMCATs, proctored SIMCAT as well as take-home SIMCATs and the previous year papers. These should be the first set of things that you must do. And in most of the cases, this would cover around 250 to 300 questions for yourself. The rest of the questions you can do from the additional practice exercise which is given on your portal. Similar is the case with RC. I'm a CA who has so and so stuff pursuing this thing. I aim to get top MBA colleges. What CAT can help me get it? Will CAT be able to? Probably you are asking this thing that whether CAT will be able to get that. Yes, of course. You have a good profile. Acha. I'm just reading the questions, huh? Yeah. Then we have. I'm preparing for CAT 2025 and I'm enrolled 2025, na beta? Acha. So you are enrolled in IMS Gujarat, but I need more questions to practice, and I don't feel that in our module there are many questions. There are many questions, beta. If you open your Maya IMS, there is something called as practice with AI. There are unlimited questions there. We are paying a bomb, to the organization with whom we have sat and created the algorithm to generate questions for you. So don't worry about the number of questions. There are plenty. My graduation result is released, but I have not gotten my mark sheet. Should I mark graduation completed? No. Pursuing. Good number of attempts in quants. Good number of attempts, again, good number basically for me means 99 percentile. Okay. 99 percentile or around. So 50% of the content. Again, depending upon if the quant is as tough as it was last year, then maybe 1 or 2 questions less. That's all. I'll not be taking the CAT form filling level questions in this video because that is not what this live session is for. But you can post these questions to our CAT form filling guidelines video by Prasad Sawant. Once you post the comment there, then we look at that, and there's a good chance somebody from IMS will reply or I'm going to reply. So don't worry about that. RC review takes a lot of time, of course. What type of good sweet have you ever eaten that did not take a lot of time? How to do the revision of syllabus? Okay, great. Same thing. Revision, first thing is that you are not supposed to redo the questions that you have already done. Okay, because there are so many questions available. Revision would mean that you create a timetable. Let's say, 1 month you devote entirely for arithmetic because there are so many topics. Somewhere around 1 month or little less than 1 month probably will require for your algebra. And then gradually for the rest of the 3 set of topics, you can decide your time. What you should do, and there is a very interesting thing that I'm going to talk about in next 3 minutes. So stay tuned with that. There is a precursor that is going on right now, so you can think of it. So go to each topic and practice around 20 to 30 questions of that particular topic. Okay. Now, sometimes we feel that, okay, what topic should I pick? Normally, I say that the way your classes have happened in IMS, you should follow that same timetable. If you are not joining from IMS, in that case, you can pick up from module 1, module 2, module 3, or you can pick up, just create your schedule in a manner that, okay, I'm going to complete these topics, all these topics of arithmetic followed by algebra followed by geometry and so on. Once you complete this entire cycle of 30 questions each, especially of arithmetic, geometry and algebra, then again do the same cycle but for the next 30 questions. And this is what you need to continue. This is one part. Now another part, in fact, this is something that I probably should have started with, but I think that's okay. Last 100 days, if I have to summarize in 1 minute, is mock bound preparation. Just write this phrase somewhere, kahin itna bada bada likh lo, write it on your walls. Mock bound preparation. Mock bound preparation. What do I mean by that? Very interesting, very interesting. If you are not taking mocks even now, start taking them. If you do not intend to take mocks for next 20 days or so, better yet that you drop the CAT aspiration. Okay, so please start taking mocks right away. This is called mock bound preparation. One part is this. Second part is, what do I mean by mock bound preparation? So you do the mock, then you do the analysis of that mock. Analysis is also very simple. You can watch any of our analysis video, but let me give you a quick sneak peek into it. First part of analysis is that you complete the entire paper irrespective of time limit. Entire paper irrespective of any time duration. Second thing is that you need to find out those topics that you are moderately strong at, and you need to find out those topics that you are absolutely weak at. Are you all listening to me? Can you all give me a quick yes or a quick thumbs up? I sort of chalo, great. So find out the topics that you are moderately strong at, and find out the topics that you are absolutely weak at. Next 20 days you are going to dedicate for the weak topics. Weak topics in the sense that you need to just do the concepts of these topics and LOD 1 and LOD 2 level questions. That's all. If you can do it do it at least 2 times, nothing like it. At least 2 times. More than 2 times is always good, but at least 2 times. Okay. This is called your mock bound preparation part 2. What is the third step? You have done the weak things. Now after 20 days, you would reach around 10th of September. Okay. So and so. In September, it is ideal that you should not focus on extremely weak concepts. Then you should focus on your strong concepts, very strong concepts, and moderate level concepts, and you get to know about that. If I give my example, as I told you that I was not very fond of inequalities in algebra, right? If I were you, I would do a lot of questions of inequalities, and after 20 days, then I would not touch inequalities as such. Of course, I'll be doing their preparation because it will come in that moderate level, but then I would know that, okay, probably I'll not be able to go beyond that. I'll not be able to build my strength beyond it. And the interesting part is that there is a concept called, modulus questions. I was not fond of these kind of questions, and in my interview, they asked me the same question. But I was able to solve that. I was able to give my thought to it properly, because at that time they are not really looking for whether you can derive the answer or not. They are looking for whether you, give up on a particular question or not. So I was then realizing that if I had left that topic altogether, then I would not have probably, made it to IMC. Because if you are aware that in IIM Calcutta, one quant question is definitely asked in 99% of the interviews that they take. One quant question is definitely asked. Again, not to test whether you are good at quants or not, but whether you are able to think properly or not, right? So I'm just saying that this is how you have to prioritize. And after your 10th of September, you are not supposed to do anything which you have not even touched. So better is that you touch these things right away, those things that you have not even so far seen. So this is called the third part of your Mockbound preparation. Then, when you find out the topics that you are not good at or you are moderately good at and you are strong at, then that will be a list of around 10, 15, 20, 25 topics across the sections, okay, mostly quants. Then I want you to find out top 4 to 5 topics, that's all, top 4 to 5 topics, and then do around 50 questions, 30 to 50 questions of each of these topics. Then you take another mock and see how much you have improved in those topics and overall. Do the same process again. Solve the entire paper, find out the list of topics that you need to work on, prioritize 3, 4, 5 topics out of it, do 30, 40 questions of these topics, take another mock. And while you are doing this thing, you are constantly solving 5 RC every day, 5 LRDI sets every day. Is that clear to everybody? Perfect. I'm not feeling to do LRDI practice. It seems I'm lacking true purpose. Can you tell me what is true purpose of LRDI? To take you into CAT, then to nurture your mind enough so that you can take good decisions. Because when you become manager and you are taking the decisions related to 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 crores of rupees of marketing investment or financial investment somewhere, then you really need to see what projection it might bring you to, and so on. You have to bear so many variables in your mind when you are taking a decision. LRDI makes you enable for that. Okay, nobody is going to ask you straight away question later on when you are working somewhere. Na, acha chal, solve this question of quants. Nahin. It is about if your director is asking you that if I change this metric, what do you think is going to be our profit, change in the profit and so forth. So you have to have good calculation skills. How will that come up? That's how. Is IMS planning some paid booster course in upcoming days? So normally the courses are running, and the courses that you currently join are booster courses only as such. But if you're talking about booster course in the sense that, for a particular topic, right? For that, I think I have not really checked. You can check that on the website. It should be available. If it is not available, then there are no such courses for you. And you can always reach out to that, bot. Via bot, you will be able to connect to our education advisor, and then he or she will be able to help you with this. 3 months is left. Important for those who just started. What is the strategy? So we have discussed that already. How to identify easy questions, especially in LRDI section. LRDI section, simple metric. The fewer the variables, the better is the LRDI set. The more number of variables are there, or the more complex the question is, the worse is the LRDI set. How will you be able to decide which set to select? Practice. There is no other way. Because these are all puzzles, anybody can give you anything, and examiners know this thing. So they will just, twist something here and there, and they will create something for you. Should I learn AI for pursuing MBA? You can, but I don't know. It depends on what type of career you want to make. Sir, I give mock score in 20s, but when I analyze, I get to see I could have scored 50, 60. Due to some shortcomings, I am not able to achieve. How to manage this issue? Very interesting question, Abhay. And thank you so much for asking this thing. If this is happening very regularly for a lot of you, that you are not able to score well in SimCATs, but when you are solving them separately, then there can be two issues. Issue number one is that when you are solving it without any time limit, then you are spending more time. So it is better that you start timing your questions so that you can develop that habit that, okay, if I'm not able to do this question in 1 minute or 60, 70, 80 seconds, I should leave it. I should not have that temptation to continue, be hogged on to a question if I'm solving that in the exam. This is one part that you have to time it. Second thing is that you have mental jitters, which so many people have. If that is happening, watch out your diet, do a lot of exercise, do pranayam, do yoga, do meditation, drink a lot of water, stay away from fried food, stay away from packaged food, stay away from oily food. And for the next couple of weeks, it is a good idea to stay away from non-veg as well, because generally the kind of non-veg that Indians eat is more fun related and less nutrition related. So just have healthy diet. Healthy diet has a significant impact. Healthy and balanced diet has a significant impact on your calmness levels, along with your other practices. So if you are just having a very lethargic idea of life, that okay, you get up, you just eat, and then you sleep, you are studying and so on, nothing is going to happen. Move your body extensively. Okay, and yes, rhythmic breathing, pranayam helps a lot. Only arithmetic and algebra is enough to do. अच्छा, this is something we have covered already. सर आरसी 2 ही होते हैं मॉक्स में, 3 पर कैसे जाएं? Practice on your own with a stopwatch. There is a countdown timer in the stopwatch. For example, if you are spending 15 minutes on an RC right now, I'm expecting if you are doing 2 RCs only, then start putting a countdown timer of 12 minutes and see what you lose, and gradually reduce that to 10 minutes. If that eventually happens to be the case, you will be able to do 3rd RC, and you have to further reduce it, but currently this is the thing that you have to do. In VARC, I have difficulty in understanding VARC solutions, like how do I improve my overall comprehension of tough questions? Comprehension can only be increased if you read enough. Right now, I would not say that we have enough time to read, so the other way to really do something about is to do more number of RCs, but with the 5 pause approach. And when you are looking at the video solution, just see what your thought process was and what is the thought process of the instructor who is explaining you these things. Okay, and you got to match that. And it will take time. 50, 60 or maybe 100 RC would be required, but this will happen. Sir, benchmarking exercise of pipe and cistern is lagging in IMS portal 3.0. Better raise a concern with the help desk. Okay, they will be able to help you with that. They will take it to the IT. I'm not able to solve sets in mocks, but when I solve while analyzing, I solve mostly 2-3 sets. I've already answered that with some other question. Sir, getting single digit in VARC. Single digit means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's say 9. That means you are doing 3 questions correctly. And I am saying that in no pretext, you are capable of just solving 3 questions, which means you are doing a lot of questions and you are getting a lot of negatives. I am expecting that, right? So let me give you a simple hypothetical picture, and this will help a lot of others also. Say you are doing 10 questions. There are 24 questions in VARC. You are doing 10 questions and you are getting 9 marks. So there is a good possibility that you have done 5 questions correctly, 5 wrong. Right? No, not even 5. 4 questions correctly and rest of the questions wrong. Maybe a couple of theta questions were there. So 6 questions wrong, 4 questions correctly, you got 9 marks. I am saying if you attempt only 5 questions, that means you are left with in more per unit time for each question. You will be able to select the question properly. And if you still are able to get 4 out of these 5 questions correctly, then you get 4 3s are 12, minus 1, 11 marks. You still get 2 more marks when you reduce your number of questions by 5. Are you listening to me, guys? Cool, na? See how many attempts you are doing. If you are already doing limited attempts, maybe 5, 7, 8 attempts only you are doing, and you are still getting this kind of score, then you need to really practice RCs. Should I be taking a little bit of guess in VARC? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Contrary to many people thought that VARC is slightly more subjective as compared to Quant and DILR. No, it is not subjective. It's the language only that is given, right? We have to check that. And yes, there are some questions which might pose a challenge. And every single SIMCAT that I post, SIMCAT solution that I post, you might be able to notice that I generally say that this is the question which was tough, this is the question which was not tough, this was the question which was not worthy of attempt. That's the kind of decision making you have to make. So if you are thinking that little bit, there is no little bit of guess beta. Okay? At least in VARC, there is no such thing called calculated guess. In quant, sometimes I can agree to that. For example, you get an answer 5 and your options are 5.3, 7, 9, 23. Now you know that, of course, this can be your calculated guess because none of the options are matching, but at least my answer is closer to this one. But otherwise not. Okay. How many mock tests should we take before CAT? Minimum 20, maximum all of them. But every single mock test should be accompanied with the analysis. I am able to solve one RC in VARC and all VA questions. Is that enough? Are you getting all VA questions correctly? If you can get all VA questions correctly, I can guarantee that you will be able to solve more RC because skills are same. Otherwise, if you are attempting 8 questions, all 8 questions in VARC, but you are getting only 3 or 4 correct, then basically 3 to 4 questions from VARC and from 1 RC out of 4, maybe 3 questions correct, just taking a bit of less conservative picture. So a total of 6 questions, I would say. 6 questions are not going to, put any dent, any positive dent in your score. So yes, it is not enough. What looks like a decent accuracy in VRCs? 80% great, 70% desirable, 85% really good. Beyond that, it might not be possible. If you get that, you are a champion. But then don't say that I have done 3 questions with 100% accuracy. वो मतलब नहीं है. Right? Yeah. So yeah. How to properly analyze SimCAT? We have already discussed that. How do you choose the RC questions in VRC? I don't choose RC questions, but I choose RCs. I read the RC and then so it's about set selection, RC selection. I read the first paragraph of all the 3 RCs, 4 RCs which are given, and then I just see that, okay, this is something which is more suited to my taste. Language is easy and so on. So that has to be my first RC. When I start doing that with the 5 pause approach, I know I'll be able to do all questions, and if not all, then at least 3 questions out of it. So it is not about question selection, it is about RC selection. It is about the passage selection. Okay. So all these approaches like question first, passage later, they might work in some way or the other, but these are not really the foolproof approaches. The foolproof approach is the 5 pause approach. You read the passage first, you summarize it, then you read the question, you make your own answer before looking at the option, then you look at the option and start eliminating the option on the basis of the answer you have created, and then finalize your option. If you are still not able to do that, leave the question. Perfect. What else? I think I have answered all the questions so far that have come here. Somebody is asking SimCAT live attempt on YouTube. Yeah, we have planned that. It will happen soon. Good morning, sir. I have just started my preparation. Scored 12 marks in CAT 2023 slot 1 paper. How should I plan my preparation? Non-engineer. Is it possible to get 97 to 99 percentile? Of course, it is possible. It will be, of course, tough. It will be quite tough. Tough in the sense that you will have to devote a lot of time and effort. And in the beginning of this video, I've discussed extensively as to what you should prepare if you are a fresher. So once this live session ends, then just go through that. But just to give you a quick brief, quant will require a major chunk of your preparation. A topic wise thing. Then there are 2 topics that I have said which are very important that you really have to mark. And with respect to LRDI and RC, you have to do 6 to 7 RC and LRDI sets. You can start with the basic one for next 10-15 days, and then you can just go for the SimCAT ones and the previous year papers. Let's say there is an inference question that needs me to revisit every paragraph, and I know it will take me somewhere around 40 to 60 seconds. Is it worth it? Of course, if it is getting you score, why is it not worth it? Getting 20 percentile overall, how should I plan to prepare? We have discussed that. 20 percentile comes if you have attempted extremely less, which means you are 0 on the concept right now, so you have to start from the basic, which we have discussed. Second, 20 percentile can also come if you have over attempted. That means again you are not good in concepts right now, but currently the problem is also happening with respect to the decision making. So better is that you reduce your attempt and gradually increase. In fact, guys, those of you are starting for the first time, na, I would say that you keep on taking SimCats, but solve only those topics, solve only questions from those topics that you have covered on your own while you have been preparing. Continuously getting 60 to 70%, I have to improve VARC, do more RCs every day and analyze every single SimCat. See what video solution we have offered and why. Where do I learn about the 5 something approach that you were talking about? Beta, I'll tell you that right now. Abhi bataya tha maine. In fact, 5 pause approach means the 5 step approach. Step number 1. Achha, forget about 5 pause approach. Let me just give you a summarized version of 5 pause approach. Okay. Step 1 is called summarize. Summarize. That means you summarize the entire passage in your own words. So step 2 is shadow. Shadow means make a shadow answer of the question that you read. Shadow answer means the answer that you create when you, without reading the options, on the basis of your own understanding of the passage. Of course, you will not be able to create any shadow answer for a question like which of the following can be inferred from the passage, right? But you can still make a shadow answer for a question like why author has used the example of so and so in the passage. And third step is read the option, take a decision on whether you want to keep it or not. That means shortlist or eliminate on the basis of your shadow answer. Then you go to the next option and then complete all the options and finalize the answer. This is called solve. Summarize, shadow, solve. Are DILR, PYQ the best source to start with? Yeah, they are good source. SimCat and previous year questions, absolutely correct. Very good. Okay, guys, perfect. Any other question? Super. So I think this was enough. I hope that you got, a thorough idea of what you should be doing in the next 100 days. Just to give you a quick summary in 1 minute, I would say first step is that do your entire practice again. If you are starting, then it is not going to be your practice, it is going to be your concepts. If you are not a beginner, then it is going to be your practice that you have to do. Second thing is it has to be mock bound preparation. You do the mock, you find out the topics that you are not good at, do these questions for 3 days, then attempt another mock and so on. Perfect. And third thing is that quant requires multiple iterations. So every 20-25 days, touch upon all the topics of quants, even if you are doing only 5 to 10 questions. Every day do 5 to 6 LRDI sets and 5 to 6 RCs plus minus 1 depending on your specific time. That's all. Superb. Great. So I wish you all the very best. And the last 100 days are basically, you can say that, it is the last leg. If it is a relay race, this is the last lap. So don't give up. If you have already made it till here, if you are thinking about CAT extensively, you are not late anywhere. But yes, the effort that will be required now is more, and just your entire day, your entire life, every single thing should revolve around your CAT preparation. SimCat 9 was tricky. Maybe I would not be able to develop the kind of attention to detail you have if such a paper comes in CAT. Should I look at easier questions or RC as a whole? Still RC. Still RC. It is a responsibility to give you the taste of all the types of difficulty level in every question. Of course, SimCat 9 was tricky, right? CAT is slightly more balanced, but again, if you are understanding the passage thoroughly, see, if it is difficult for you, it is difficult for others also. If others were aiming for 3 RCs, but then in this case, probably you will be able to do only 2 RCs or maybe 1 RC, right? So don't worry about that. And it's not like you will not be able to develop that kind of detail. It's not like that I was born with that. It takes a bit of practice, it takes a bit of time, and you get there. 5 RC, 5 LRDI along with review takes a lot of time. Of course, it will take a lot of time. So, you want to eat pizza and you are not ready to put the stuffing for say 10 minutes in your oven, फिर कच्चा खा लो, है ना? ऐसा नहीं होता. देखो, it cannot be this way that I don't want to study but I do want to crack CAT, but it takes a lot of time and I really want to do I think that give me a shortcut. There is no such thing called shortcut. Okay, chalo, great. So I think that would be enough for today. Let's not spend more time on Insta or YouTube hogging. And I wish you all the very best. Please make a timetable in Excel sheet. Every single day should be properly defined. Every week should be properly defined. Every hour should be defined. It's not like 6 to 8 a.m. QA. No, what you want to do in QA on that day, all these things should be defined, even if it takes maybe 2 hours for you to make the timetable for next 10-15 days. But please make a timetable in an Excel file every single 15 days. Keep on updating it. All the very best. We are here for you. If there is any question, you can post it in the comments here or elsewhere. You can reach out to us, and then we'll try to resolve your queries. Bye-bye.